Christian is there because he wants a vacation, and then he decides to like basically steal his friend's idea for a
Mm-hmm.
project, even though I don't remember the character name. I just remember the actor's name, which is William Jackson Harper, and like
Yes, well,
he
I always think of him as Chidi from The Good Place. And so I always just think of him like, oh, Chidi. And then when I was watching, I was like, where's Chidi? I'm like, I know his name's not Chidi, but I'm like, I just know him
yes,
so firmly as Chidi in my mind.
yes, but he's already been doing the research. Like he's already been taking notes, he's already been taking pictures and photos and everything. Like he has been meticulously working on this paper. Like he wants to make his project about this festival. And
Hmm.
Christian just decided to kind of like, just wants to write his name on the report already shows that he is someone who really doesn't care about other people's feelings. He's only really
Hmm.
out for himself. So
Hmm.
whenever like Danny is trying to be like, hey, there's something wrong here, he's not going to listen to her because he doesn't
Hmm.
really like care about how she feels truly. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And it's just icky how he acts. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I was gonna ask you actually, because like with that story point, and this is kind of what we were talking about with The Living Dead, of like the director didn't go in making it a commentary, but when there's only one black character, things inevitably become larger than maybe they're intended to. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
the point between William Jackson Harper's character and Christian like like stealing his idea and jumping on his work, do you think that is like a commentary on like white people stealing black people, like from black people, or like capitalizing on their labor and stuff? Or do you or like because I think that's one of the instances where I'm like maybe it's intentional, maybe it's not, but I feel like with there only being one black person in the film, you can
Mm-hmm.
start like reading things this way, in ways that like we wouldn't have read it if it was just another white person.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely agree with that idea. I just looked at my notes, and William Jackson Harper's character's name is Josh, and hold on, yeah, Josh. So when Christian tries to steal Josh's idea, it is exactly that. It's just like white people trying to like take credit for black people's ideas, but it also just shows how he is so selfish to the point where like he doesn't really listen to his girlfriend. He doesn't care about his girlfriend. He just doesn't care about the fact that his friends are there. Like his friend Josh is really there for academic reasons, and he's
Mm-hmm.
purely there just for like an a vacation. And
Mm-hmm.
if he just so happens to write his report on the festival, the same thing that Josh is writing his report on, then like fine, whatever, who
Mm-hmm.
cares? But I also feel like William Jackson Harper's character is something of. If you enjoy watching these highlights, subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you know when a new video is uploaded. An insert, so to speak. And I don't know how to explain this, but there are times where I'm watching a movie and I can tell when certain characters are kind of just like kind of written, and they're just like, this is the baseline character, this is who they are, but there's no thought or like emphasis on their race as a character. So William Jackson
Mm-hmm.
Harper being cast in this role is really just kind of like, oh, we're casting this like black guy in this film. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
for diversity's sake. But I feel like if you wrote this character with the intention of him being a black character, he would not be acting in the way that Josh acts in this film because Josh is kind of reckless in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
starts asking questions about the commune that he kind of shouldn't be asking questions about, and it's kind of clear that people are getting annoyed. He seems to ignore it. Like
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
him.
because I was noticing there are some things of like Will Poulter's character, I think his name is Mark, like
Mm,
being on the tree and stuff. And I was like, there's some things that were
yes.
just so typical, like, I don't know, white American of like, and also when they were sitting at the table and they all started eating before everybody else was eating, I was like, this is
Mm,
such a like very much like a white American kind of thing of like not being aware of other cultures and customs and just
mm,
kind of the like American cent like whatever with the US like centrism kind of like philosophy.
mm,
Um and then I feel like if you are like especially like a person of color and you're aware of the cultural differences, you would be more aware of like how different people like from different cultures act, you know what I
mm.
mean? And like would be more aware of like I don't know. There's not that same kind of naivety and like disrespect that comes from ignorance, I guess.
Yeah, because Josh is freaked out by what happened at the cliff, but he's not freaked out to the point where he wants to leave like Danny
Hmm.
does. He's
Hmm.
freaked out because like he knew what was gonna happen. because he
Yeah.
knows the history. Like, he understood it. He's a really smart guy. And then he's surprised by it happening. And I feel like if Josh was a character who was written to be like a black person, he would be like, oh, we're doing this? Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get my keys back? Can I get my
Yeah.
stuff back? Can I get I
Yeah.
actually don't want to be here anymore. I
Yeah.
think I'm
Yeah,
good.
guys, it's been so fun. Thank
It's
you for
been
the
great.
invite. I have so
Yes.
much content for my thesis. I'm gonna
Mm.
go home and get a head start. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm good
Yeah.
actually. I think I'm all right.
Yeah.
And him sneaking
Mhm.
out in the middle of the night to take photos of their sacred texts, I feel like is a huge no-no, you know.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
because he's taking pictures with the
Mhm.
flash. That's the one thing that pissed me
Yeah, I was
off.
thinking about that too. I was like, guys, I was like, it's light enough. The sun hasn't even set. Like,
Hmm.
and there's like a spotlight on it.
Yes.
Anyways, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking as well. Like, the thing of like being aware of stealing from other cultures and like not properly respecting them. I was like, it seems like a very white person thing to do.
Hmm.
So that's why I was interested, because it's interesting to kind of think of like, oh, is this like colorblind casting or whatever? But then it's like, how does the race of the person playing the character actually affect like kind of dynamics, whether or not they were intentional?
Since you're at the end of the video, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment down below. If you want early access to these highlights, join our Patreon. Patrons have access to our entire archive, including full-length videos. Patrons also have the opportunity to choose a topic for our podcast, and they get the opportunity to be a guest. Join now.